Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Motor City Mad Mouse Show. But this time we are over at, they say American Family Field. I haven't really kind of gotten the Miller Park thing out of my way, but I am talking to Bryan Hoeing, spelled with a Y. Why do I say that? Because my middle name is spelled with a Y. And thanks for joining the show, Bryan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So let's talk about the Marlins here. Then I want to have some fun with the Indiana stuff, okay? You know, obviously the team has had a lot of pitching movement. You know, the year started with Alcantara being gone and then Yuri Perez. But define what type of a year it's been for you, knowing full well that when you have a tough season, then you get more opportunities to pitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's a team effort. I think everybody picks each other up, especially when guys like Yuri and Sandy go down, two main arms for our staff. It's the next man up. You know, as much as we'd like for them to be here, we have to keep going. We have to go out there and play. And so, a lot of young guys have gotten opportunities this year, and I think overall we've got off to a really good start pitching-wise. Kind of carried that along. But yeah, it's just fun. I think we all kind of feed off each other. We push each other every single day, catch play, and then we cheer each other on every time we go out in the bullpen.
Talk about Bryan Hoeing 2024, the year that you're having. You know, describe it from start to where we're currently at the moment.
I started off the season in a long relief role. And then kind of worked my way up into a leverage situation type of role. Then I actually went down for 2 months with an injury, a hamstring strain. So I missed 2 months of the season, which is a pretty big chunk of the season, unfortunately. But I'm just glad to be back now and healthy. I've kind of bounced around roles since I've been back from the IL. I went from starting to relieving to long relief. So I'm kind of like that Swiss Army knife, I guess you could say, where anything that Skip wants me to go out there and do, I'll never do it for him.
Talk about Skip Schumacher as the manager. He seems like a pretty upbeat guy. He's having a tough year, but I know he seems to be making the most of a very extremely difficult year.
Yeah, Skip's been consistent all year. I know our record's not where we want it to be, but every single day Skip shows up and he believes in us and makes it clear that he still wants to be the manager here and he's having a good time this year. And he just pushes us. He communicates very well with us, and like I said, the season's not going great, but he still shows up every single day, and ready to work, and has not quit on us.
What have you learned from Mel Stottlemyre Jr.?
A lot, yeah. Mel's helped me develop as a big league pitcher throughout my years here, just believing in my stuff, fine-tuning a couple of my shapes with my pitches, and just overall the mentality of going out here and pitching in big league games has helped me a ton.
All right, now I know that A.J. Puck was traded earlier in the week to a team that you were actually once drafted by, but you decided not to go to the Arizona Diamondbacks. What was your reaction to the A.J. Puck trade, knowing that you are in the Marlins bullpen anyways, and maybe that could probably, we still have some season left to go, and what your roles could potentially be? Yeah,
Puck was a big piece of our pitching staff. He was in those high leverage situations towards the end of the game. We're going to miss Puck tremendously. Not only him as a player, but him as a person too. He was a great clubhouse guy that kind of kept everybody loose and just made the game fun. So he will definitely be missed.
In your years playing pro ball, MLB, have you ever seen a season have so many twists and turns like this one?
No, I mean this is only my parts of 3 years up here, but it's definitely been a crazy season just with injuries, trades, and whatnot. But I think the main thing is just to stay the course and trust the process and just keep your head down and keep working.
What were your thoughts when Jazz Chisholm got traded to the Yankees?
Yeah, I know we kind of heard some rumors that he might get traded, but you never really know until it actually happens. But when it happened yesterday, it was wild. He's been with the Marlins I think since 2020, I want to say. And he's been some would say the face of the Marlins, and the fact that he's dished off to the Yankees. I'm excited for him and his career over there in New York and that high market team. I think it'll be fun to watch him playing some big postseason games hopefully.
What kind of a relationship did you have with Jazz?
It was good. I mean, every single day we said hey to each other. He was a great teammate. He showed up every day, wanted to work, and it was fun to be with him.
During the past week, the Marlins have had some good success against division leaders. I think Baltimore ended up beating them by, I believe, identical 6-3 scores. And then this week you had the Milwaukee Brewers on the road, and both games were decided by 4 runs in favor of the Fish. So, and of course you didn't do bad against the Mets series. So, what have you learned about this team over the last 10 days?
Yeah, I think they're resilient. I mean, the trades and everything going on, and the focus I said is still to come out here and compete every single day. Not let the trades kind of affect our team camaraderie. It's just part of the game. It's the business of the game. But we done a really good job of staying focused and coming out here and still playing for something, despite all the trades and all the movements.
Well, good. You're a great segue to my next question. Well, I'll tell you, if you ever get out of playing ball, you can always be my color commentator all day long, because I do have aspirations of being a play-by-play even at the age of 61. So knowing that we're going into the weekend with the Brewers, with the trade line hanging over all weekend, what's that been like knowing that this roster could change a lot by the end of the weekend? You guys think of it as players.
Yeah. I think just being in the moment, being present, not thinking too much about the outside factors, because a lot of it is you can't control what's going to happen to you. You can only control how you come in the field every single day, and how hard you work, and how well you prepare. All that other stuff is for the GMs and whatnot. So that's the business side of it. I think as players, we really just focus on the playing side of baseball, not too much about the movements.
You talk about having been a long reliever. So would you ever have aspirations to want to be a starting pitcher, or do you like being actually in the bullpen?
I mean, I wouldn't shut the door on starting, but I think right now in my career, where I'm at in my stage, I think relieving would probably be the best situation for me in my career. Like I said, maybe down the road, the starting role could open up, but for right now, I think for my best interest, the long relief and relieving appearances is the best for me.
All right, a couple more questions. Obviously, you're from the Midwest, Batesville, Indiana, right?
Yeah.
So from an Indiana guy to a Motor City, Michigan guy, being a Midwest guy, what was it like growing up in Indiana yourself playing ball?
It was exciting. I grew up in a small town in Batesville, a town of 5,000 or 6,000 population, and Indiana high school basketball is huge. So my dream growing up was to always just play for the high school basketball team. And seeing how many, I went to games growing up and watching the older teams, and just seeing how many fans would come to games. And I just want to always play in front of the hometown fans. But it was great. I mean, my mom played basketball in college, my aunt played basketball in college, so it was just kind of the bloodline, and I just wanted to keep playing.
Yeah, well, there you go. You lead me together now. We talk about baseball and basketball. Everybody knows about the rich history in Hoosier territory. Bobby Knight, who wouldn't know about this guy?
Exactly.
So did you ever think at one point that you wanted to play basketball over baseball?
Of course, yeah. I actually enjoyed basketball more than baseball. I think just because at a young age, basketball is a very still is a very upbeat sport, whereas baseball is way more, laid back, a lot more time to think, and just kind of, I guess you could say, stand around. So basketball is way more reactive, and baseball is way more thinking. So as a young kid, I just wanted to run around all the time, and that's what basketball was able to allow me to do. But I realized, my future was going to be in baseball, so I had to close the book on basketball.
So why do you feel that your future was in baseball, knowing that basketball appeared to be your passion?
Yeah, I think just hearing from college coaches and professional scouts, they pretty much told me that, hey, look, you got a pretty good shot at having a good career in baseball, which made me kind of go with my baseball path.
All right, we'll end it on this note. So, obviously being an Indiana basketball guy, how many times have you watched the movie Hoosiers? Because Hoosiers is going to be in my next book. And Gene Hackman was my favorite character, and I went over to visit Jim.
So call me crazy. I've actually never seen the movie all the way through, which is absurd. I know. Being a basketball guy from Indiana, you would think that it's like a staple is to have to watch that movie. But I've seen bits and pieces of it. And I know it's about a school it's actually right by Batesville, about 30 or 45 minutes away in Highland, Indiana. We play them every single year. But I know the gist of the movie, but I should probably get there and watch it sometime.
Well, I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. I've watched it 9 million times. So,
yeah.
Hey, listen, Brian, I want to thank you very much for joining the Motor City Mad Mouth Show. This is Bryan Hoeing, relief pitcher for the Miami Marlins, catching me on game day here on Sunday. And I'm calling it Miller Park. It doesn't matter. And I just want to thank you very much for doing this on short notice.
Yeah.
And just so you know, you can find this interview on not only the Motor City Mad Mouth Show, but you can also find it on the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. And Brian will be in my next book, The Lessons from the Microphone, Part 2. So, Brian, you just made it. This interview is going to put us in a lot of great places, and I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to spend some time together today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Special shout out to Louis Durante for pulling this last minute thing off. So, but meanwhile, thanks again, and I look forward to watching your career as you continue to progress. This is the Motor City Mad Mouth Show. Scott Morgan, Bryan Hoeing here from Miller Park. Thank you very much. Have yourself a great day.